There are verses in the Quran that don't just inform the mind, they pierce the heart. They come alive like a whisper from eternity, reminding us of who we truly are and where we belong. Surah Al-Baqarah verses 38 and 39 carry this weight. They are not merely words, they are keys to unlock the story of humanity, the story of descent, struggle, guidance, and ultimate return. These verses address not just Adam and his children long ago, but you here and now. Every line speaks to the wounds you carry, the questions that haunt you, and the longing that pulls you toward the divine. If you allow yourself to listen with more than your ears, to listen with your inner being, these words will begin to flow inside you like a river, dissolving the dust of forgetfulness and awakening a light that was always there. So let us enter slowly, phrase by phrase, not with haste, but with reverence. Verse 38, we said, "Descend from it, all of you together." The divine command is firm, but notice the tone. It is not rejection, but guidance. Descend. To the Sufi, this descent is not simply a fall from paradise, but the beginning of the journey. The human spirit, once clothed in pure nearness, is now veiled in the garments of the earthly realm. Yet even in this descent, there is mercy. For the descent is not abandonment, but preparation. To descend is to enter the arena of contrast, joy and sorrow, light and shadow, unity and separation. Without contrast, the soul cannot discover its own depths. The Beloved sends humanity into the world, not to exile it, but to let it taste every shade of existence, so that when it returns, it does not return naive, but awakened. Then when guidance comes to you from me, here lies the promise. The descent is not without direction. God does not leave humanity wandering in the wilderness of existence. From the very beginning, there is a covenant. Whenever guidance comes to you, notice the softness here, not if, but when. Guidance is inevitable. It is a certainty. Just as the sun must rise after night, revelation must reach the human heart. The Sufi sees this as the breath of divine compassion, that in every age, in every people, in every soul, guidance is sent. Sometimes through prophets and scriptures, sometimes through inner awakenings, sometimes through signs in creation itself. Whoever follows my guidance. This is the secret. The mercy is offered, but the step must be taken. To follow is to align oneself with the stream of truth that flows from the divine. The Sufi understands this not merely as obedience to external law, but as a surrender of the heart. To follow God's guidance is to allow His rhythm to become your rhythm, His will your will, His love your direction. Then no fear shall be upon them. Fear in the human story is the first fruit of separation. When Adam tasted the fruit, he also tasted fear. Fear of exposure, fear of distance, fear of judgment. But here the divine assures, if you follow the path of guidance, fear dissolves. The Sufi knows this as a living reality. When the heart turns fully toward the Beloved, fear of tomorrow vanishes, fear of loss disappears, fear of death becomes meaningless, nor shall they grieve. Grief belongs to the realm of attachment. We grieve for what we think we have lost. But the one who follows divine guidance discovers that nothing real is ever lost. Every sorrow is only a veil, every ending only a doorway. The Sufi, in the depth of remembrance, can sit in the middle of calamity and still smile, because he sees beyond appearances. Grief transforms into trust. Verse 39, but those who disbelieve and deny our signs. Now comes the other side of the human choice. To disbelieve, in Sufi understanding, is not merely to reject God verbally, it is to cover up the truth already planted within. Kufr literally means to cover. Every human being carries the seed of divine recognition, but disbelief is the act of bearing it under layers of ego, pride, heedlessness, and worldly distractions. To deny the signs is not simply to reject miracles. It is to ignore the countless whispers of the divine in every moment. The sunrise, the beating of the heart, the sudden stirring of conscience, the lines of revelation, All are signs. To deny them is to walk through a garden with closed eyes, refusing to see the flowers blooming at your feet. They are companions of the fire. Notice the word companions, not merely visitors. Companions of the fire are those who have befriended separation, who have made a home in denial, who have chosen the burning of distance from God over the coolness of nearness. The fire is not only in the afterlife, it begins here. The fire of restlessness, of insatiable desire, of inner emptiness. To turn away from the divine is to live already burning. In it they shall abide. Eternity here does not only signify endless time, it points to the nature of the soul's alignment. If the soul clings stubbornly to separation, it becomes its own prison. But the Sufi also reminds, God's mercy is vast beyond imagination. The Quran's warnings are not meant to close the door, but to shake the soul awake before it seals its own fate. The flow of the two verses. Taken together, verses 38 and 39 form a mirror. On one side, descent with guidance, leading to freedom from fear and grief. On the other, descent without acceptance, leading to fire and restlessness. Both paths are within the human heart at every moment. Every choice you make leans toward one of these mirrors. The Sufi listens to these verses and does not only think of Adam long ago, but of the Adam within, the human essence inside you that wakes, falls, forgets, remembers. The descent is yours, the guidance is yours, the choice is yours, the freedom from fear is yours. A gentle closing reflection. The Quran here is not telling you a story of the past. It is telling you your own story. You descended into this world. You carry both forgetfulness and remembrance. You are offered guidance at every turn. And you are promised a life without fear and grief if you walk toward the beloved. This is not philosophy. This is not abstract theology. This is the pulse of your existence. Can you feel it now? The verses are alive. They are not ink on paper. They are breaths of the divine reaching into you at this very moment. Closing reflections. So as you let these words settle in your heart, I invite you to pause. Ask yourself, am I descending blindly or am I walking with guidance? Do I befriend the fire of restlessness or do I seek the garden of peace? Let these verses become your mirror. Let them be your reminder that every breath is a chance to turn, every heartbeat a chance to follow guidance, every moment a chance to let fear and grief fall away. If these reflections touched you, do not keep them only for yourself. Share them with someone who may be searching for meaning, someone whose heart may need this reminder. And stay with us, because every verse of the Quran, when seen through the light of Sufi wisdom, is not just a teaching, but a transformation. Your journey has only begun. Stay connected, stay listening, and let the next revelation awaken you even more deeply.